Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Tell you.
Alrighty then.
He lost.
Let's bring it in here, gentlemen, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. We got another cracking episode here. We're back with... yeah, Bobby. Just
All right, here we go. We're good.
Yeah, we're already into the show here, so... but that's your best dressed
our
Bobby.
3 female subscribers.
That's best dressed Bobby. We got Ryan over here looking like a golf pro, and then we got
We look
our
good.
special guest over here. We got AJ. Say what's up to the
What up?
to the fans. Give us a little, I don't know.
Give us a rundown. Tell us what you're about, what teams you affiliate with, and something, just
Who
run us
are
through.
you?
Yeah.
And one
Who
thing,
are you?
and one thing that you find interesting about yourself. Go.
There you go.
Who
I'm
is
a
your
degenerate
daddy?
gambler golfer. I pretty much rep anything Chicago and
So what do we got? We got Bears, Cubs. You said.
yep,
Hawks.
Blackhawks. Basketball, I don't care anything about
Okay.
anymore because it's just all for the fucking money these days. So basketball could die and I wouldn't give a damn.
As we're watching an NBA
Yes.
playoff.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
we're watching a playoff game.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I've lost too much money recently, so and then not to mention these refs are making egregious calls against the Pacers.
Dude, I
That's
said
a good
that.
segue. Go
But I
ahead.
said that last
Yep.
week that some of these NBA games. I mean, they're fucking unbelievable. You can't even watch them, man. If you get, they at the one stage they just didn't call fouls. You got hacked like a motherfucker. No foul.
Well, 3 games ago, when Indiana was at MSG, Indiana had 48 fouls, and I think the Knicks only had like 15. So how is there a 33 disparity in fouls? It just doesn't make
No,
any
it just
sense.
doesn't add up, man. But yeah, I can agree though that basketball is one of those sports that can get out of hand really early, and then you're like, I don't have any interest in this.
The last
bullshit.
2 minutes take 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, football you can also argue though kind of has that same.
Well, there's
thing, though.
peaks and valleys in the game. I mean, it is what it is, but they are missing, and then they're applying technicals like to anyone and everyone just randomly. I'm like,
But
okay.
then there's games that they don't call it tech. Mike Malone fucking ran up to the ref's face and was like saying "fuck your face," like this close,
What?
like right this, and he didn't get a technical. It's like how the fuck does that happen? That's an easy technical in 99% of other games. But like I said, well, let's not bitch too much about the NBA
That's
because it's it is what it is, as Bobby said. So AJ, let's go with though the Bears, and we just kind of also talked about it. The Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze pick. How you feel about those? What you got?
Love the Odunze pick. He arguably is the best of the 3 out of Neighbors and MHJ. I was stoked about that. Caleb Williams is going to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers in 3.5, 4 years from now, just like our current last 2 draft picks at quarterback. He's a prima donna. He is going to be a massive bust. I said this to Bobby and a bunch of people several times. We should have traded back to 3, gotten Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Okay.
and then and gotten more draft capital because we didn't have a second-round pick this year. We had to trade up for one. And then get 2 or 3 more first rounders in a second or fourth or fifth. Pick MHJ at 3, and then take a flyer at 9. And JJ, who's a hometown kid, grew up right around these neck of the woods, like 15 minutes from us.
the quarterback that went to Minnesota?
Yeah. He's a homebody. He skyrocketed up. Took in him or Bo Nix, who everybody thinks he's going to be a bust. But hey, at the end of the day, Brady was picked number 199, and he's the greatest of all time. So you never know; it's a crapshoot. I just don't think that Caleb Williams is going to mesh in a blue-collar city like Illinois or like Chicago. He paints his nails as a prima donna, and all I could say is you can look at one game and one game only in his college career. Last year versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, my team, he had 3 picks in the second half, and they weren't even that great of a team.
Shit. So you're also a Fighting Irish Notre Dame fan.
Yep,
Big fan?
big time.
Nice, dude. We haven't even fucking really talked about. We should
college,
talk
I
more
guess.
about Illinois
We can
State
get into
sucks
that.
real big dicks. So
Across the board.
I'm
yeah.
well aware. I'm well aware.
Yeah, we all went to ISU, too. AJ
I
was
just
there,
didn't
yeah.
finish. I did a little too much this there. My mom said I'm done or you're paying everything. So I'm like, well, it's too expensive.
dude, it was.
But I'll
fucking
say
super
this,
expensive.
though, to Caleb Williams. It's nice to see at least someone with you had Cutler, who's, I'll just say, paint it melancholy because he had no attitude whatsoever. And
He
then
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
It's because they
And
wouldn't
then-
let him take Adderall.
No, but then Fields, who was, I think, mismanaged. I don't think that he's a bad talent, but it's good
agree.
to see someone with some attitude. I'm not saying that could be good or bad. It's a neutral
He didn't
thing.
have attitude. He was
No,
quiet
I'm
as
saying
hell.
with Caleb
He's
Williams.
saying Caleb Williams at least has a personality.
At least he has a
and-
personality, has some attitude, because you need to have someone with a little bit strong-headed behind center.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
I just would say that I don't really give a shit about the personality. I would like my players, for the team to be more reserved in the fact that, like, just don't do dumb shit. Don't go fucking
Don't get
Henry
myself in
Ruggs,
trouble, yeah.
like Henry Ruggs style, fucking
Oh.
driving 190 miles an
yeah,
hour.
Or
you,
now-
sitting in
you
jail,
drafted
isn't he?
him too.
God damn
Or
it,
now
Ryan.
Rashid Rice, who's going to be lucky if he plays next year.
Yeah, he's in some shit too. That's all that I'm saying.
What happened
though,
with
those-
Rashid? I didn't even hear about this.
Oh man, he's done
Whoa,
like
what
everything under
hasn't
the
he
sun.
done?
I guess I've been under a rock.
He fled an accident that he caused.
So that's
think he-
Domestic disputes
domestic
with his
abuse
girl.
or something. Yeah.
my goodness.
And then there was a great meme out there where they basically took that one scene from Liar Liar where fucking Jim Carrey just grabs the phone and stop
Quit
breaking the law, jackass.
Yeah. No, it's good. Fucking Liar is such a good movie. So yeah, I just want to button up the NFL though. It's like let's wait and see. You also have some backing there, and that the Bears quarterbacks have not been great. So the bar is so low on them shits though that like even mediocre play is going to be like Bears fans are going to be freaking out.
As good as Drake May could possibly be, I just have a sour taste in my mouth for UNC quarterbacks because we traded away so much draft stock for Trubisky.
Trubisky was such.
All right,
a
I got
bad-
a question for AJ. I know we've spoken about this in some length. Do you think the NFC North is now the premier, teams to beat?
Oh, it's the best
Do you
division.
think
it's
it's
the
the
best
best
division?
division in football.
the best overall division.
The best overall
Would you
division.
agree with
bar
that
none.
statement? Okay.
Bar none.
I honestly did.
Let's
even
go.
Though the NFC North, I'm happy that they're doing well now and teams are making it to the playoffs. I would say even with how shitty the Commanders are, the NFC East though
NFC East is getting
does make
lot
a
of
good. When the
momentum.
Giants end up putting some shit together, they are.
I mean,
terrible.
Kirk Cousins went to the Falcons, so
So
Oh,
the NFC South is
I think
garbage.
NFC West could be good.
could be good, but we're saying like it's clearly
I
either
think
NFC
we
North or
clearly
the
have
East.
some teams that are going to put you, put it to the test.
I
the
mean, you get
NFC
into
North
the
is going to be like the AFC East of the old when you had Tom Brady up against all those strong teams.
That was a weak division,
Oh, I'm
though,
sorry.
collectively.
I'm sorry. I mean the AFC North with Pittsburgh, Baltimore,
Cincy.
Pittsburgh.
Cincy.
AFC North
like,
has always been very
yeah,
good.
exactly.
For a long time now, they're starting to dip a
Especially when
little bit.
Rapelessburger was there.
Hey,
Yep.
easy on
Okay.
that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
One rule. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so
Roethlisberger.
was it
Big Ben. All right.
Roethlisberger? He was like, hug it, chug it, football. Sorry, that's from Zach and Mary Make a Porno, I think. All right,
I'll
so
take a coffee black.
let's switch gears here a little bit. Ryan, let's have a little Ryan's recap. How'd your golf round go, my
Yeah,
man?
walk us through it.
Oh yeah, not great.
Not great.
I mean, start with the good. It was a beautiful day, perfect weather. Was with my brother. That was fun. I mean, I had some good shots, but overall, it just a lot of fuck up shots. Where it just like took me an extra 2 or 3 or whatever, like short game shots or bad. One went left, one went right. Bobby said army golf or whatever. So.
left, right.
But you know what? I only got to golf one time last year after tearing my Achilles, so I've already golfed more times this year than the whole year last year, so that's a win.
Yeah, we're glad to see you back in the
Yeah.
thing. So AJ, you're an avid golfer, I would say, for you. So you guys are going out golfing both on this Saturday, but
I'm
with
going
different.
Saturday different.
Yeah,
Different
my dad
groups.
said it as well.
Okay, where are you guys going?
I'm going to Mill Creek.
Mill Creek and
Who are you
Bobby?
going with?
So far, Scotty, Josh backed out, so probably one of my cousins, and then one of Scott's buddies.
Gotcha.
Shout out to all those guys.
Josh is a premier golfer as well, so it's always fun golfing. And I'm
Yeah,
going up to
fan of the podcast.
Mundelein Prairie Course. It's country. I think it's called Countryside. They have 2 18 holes, but prairies.
Beautiful. It's awesome there.
It's a fun course, and we're doing some fun games like tournament style, but win the hole by doing different games like best ball, scramble, alternate. We'll see.
So we did this kind of before when we rolled out golf here. So AJ, hit us with, what do we do? Like 3 things that you always have to have, like the extracurriculars
that.
for your bag? Like not the golf equipment per se, but like what makes you have like a good like this is a great day to me.
As Bobby and Woj will attribute to, I always have mini shooters in my bag because on the first par 3 and the second par 3, we always have to do a ceremonial shot.
That's true.
I always have to have.
What's that menthol drink? They always have?
Dr. McGillicuddy's, man.
Yeah,
that's the best stuff to take a shot of. It's not too hard.
It gives you some zip on it. It's like taking a.
It's like
mouthwash. Yeah.
No, but it's like gives you the same effect as a smelling packet.
Fucking
A little bit.
It like a little gives you a jolt of like, oh, well, let's fucking go.
Let's not compare one.
And
with
then
the
I
other.
have these naked lady tees that I hand out to random people because I just think they're hilarious. I always have like 10 or 20 in my bag just to give out to randos that I'm golfing with. And then third thing is just deodorant because I sweat like a mofo.
I mean, that's practical.
That's a fair.
Practical as
yeah.
shit. Bobby, hit us with yours real quick. We'll just run down the line before we get to the album.
I have a mini bar in my bag.
Yes,
So
he does.
it doesn't matter. I have
Along with all of the potions of a mystical wizard.
Tequila, rum, and whiskey at all times.
and white rum. Yeah. So
But all your bottles are like old lady perfume bottles.
So no,
like,
what they were there?
No, these are the greatest
If
bottles
you ever go to World Market, it's a sake one. It's all of like 4.5 ounces, but it has as part of the cap, it's a shooter. So if you want to just drink a shot,
It's an actual shot.
It's an actual shot glass, so it kind of works out nicely. But I'd say that I love having a cigar.
Okay. 3 things, remember.
And then sunscreen. I bleach like
Smart.
a gym
Again,
sock.
practical. You did 2 fun ones and a practical one.
Yep.
What do you got, Ryan?
So did I.
My portable speaker to play music.
Oh,
Solid.
I don't drink, so I bring bud to smoke. And I don't know, usually like water or something to drink.
Gatorade, stay hydrated.
Maybe like a baggie of snacks.
There you go.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yeah, I will go with a couple of brewskis is usually pretty much a must. I like a decent cigar. I'm not going to go crazy on the golf course because I'm trying to focus more on the game. So I'm not
Have you
going
told your clubs that?
Hey, fuck you. Hey, it's all right, man. I got a back injury right now.
It's okay, Jolly Green Giant.
See, this is how easy it is to get in his head.
I used your ball marker, by the way.
Oh, right. Thierry
remember
Rahada.
it,
I gave him
yeah.
a ball marker from there.
nice,
AJ was there with
nice,
me. It was a
nice.
fun
I
time.
recommended that course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
AJ
Tierra
was on.
Rahada is awesome.
AJ was on the trip with Bobby to
Glad you liked
California.
It was a good time.
Bobby regaled us with some stories on the
Did
pod.
you tell him about the whole Chris situation?
No, we're going to keep that one off record.
Oh,
No.
no, that's not that bad. It's fucking
No, it was just
hilarious.
more the time of like you
Oh,
guys
you're
golfed
talking
over
about the
here
car?
and then
Yeah.
did
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But
Let's just say my
save it for
sprint.
later. Save
Yeah,
it for
my
later.
sprinter van did not like one of my buddies. He's 0 for 2 versus the
0
sprinter.
for 2.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the album review. This is my pick. We had Abbey Road by the Beatles. Just a little 2-second background.
Walk us through it.
But I mean, in terms of like the Beatles, you should know the Beatles. If you don't know the Beatles,
Beatles.
get the fuck out. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr. There were some other guys that kind of were in at the earlier stages and then the later stage. So I kind of
We're
identify
talking
those
about
guys.
the Fab Four.
Yeah,
Those
the
guys
original.
is the 4. I did not know when I picked this album that Abbey Road was actually 69, I believe.
68.
68.
Yeah.
But that's later into their kind of fame. I mean, they really started in the early 60s, and that's when they shot as the biggest band in the entire world, is Pandemonium and shit.
I mean, they're still technically
Go
like
to
top
69,
20
you're
every
right.
year in terms of album sales. So.
Right, but you also, that's like an asterisk kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's like just because they are there and they get played millions upon millions of times. But let's go down the line here real quick. Let's just give initial thoughts. I mean, like how you guys introduced kind of to the Beatles. We'll go start with you, AJ.
I mean, they're just a quintessential English band from the 60s and 70s, 4 just straight up English dudes that were doing what they tried to do with the best they could, and then they just...
But who introduced you? Was that your parents? Like, were you
Oh,
listening?
my parents, for sure.
Right.
I mean, my parents introduced me to a lot of stuff. I can't listen to most of the garbage nowadays that's out here. The only band that I can actually say is a true band right now is Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it's just because they've been out since the late 80s, so they're all in their late 50s now, so they're still a true band. So, I mean... but no, I mean, it's a very influential band,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I would
fuck
say.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, okay. I like it. He's right to the point this time.
I like the climax.
All
on
right,
that
so Bobby, what you got?
one. You know, I am a more, I guess I like the Rolling Stones. You know, if I had to take a favorite between the two, just because the different, I think a different feel that the Rolling Stones put out. But fan of the Beatles. This album really it has a good feel good. All the tracks on there really kind of put you in a good mood. I have nothing bad to say. Abbey Road. This is an iconic, album art too.
Art. I would say the art is definitely it's a
by
great.
far the number.
I think
one
it's most
iconic.
recognizable. It's got to be
The
because
second one I would say is that Nirvana album with the little boy on it. That's the second most. And if you guys didn't know this or not, that guy's around our age. He's in the process of trying to sue Nirvana because his little pecker was out.
Yeah, I mean there's clearly a deal done in cash on the day of like, hey, can we take a picture of your son?
This was in the early
like,
90s.
There was
time.
no contract. Like this is a woke fucking bullshit move of like, hey, I just
30
want
years
money.
later.
I want money now. It's like, dude,
Right.
just fucking. If you were just cool with it, you'd be so much.
or give him
cooler.
some royalties or something.
Yeah,
Just
hey,
let's
here's
move on.
$100.
Those are,
man.
but sorry, I'm not trying to deter from, but I think those are the two most iconic arts,
Absolutely.
and I was going to say that Abbey Road by far is the number one most iconic album art.
So, Bobby, you say just you prefer the Stones just because they're a
prefer
little bit
the
more
Stones in
more
terms
edgier.
of I guess their music style, but dude, the Beatles, you're talking about over a decade of one platinum album after another. So it's not like they're a one-hit pony by any means. And
Right.
I mean, people are still listening to it. People are still buying albums. So it's it says a lot about their I guess time-tested abilities to keep music kind of fresh.
Yeah, I got it. It's a great take. Go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, they're like the most iconic band ever, I think. I mean, certainly one of the most influential. I don't know, like one of the most popular. I love the Beatles. Yeah, especially I've really gotten into them, especially the last like 10 years, listening to more than just like the number ones. But I always like my dad would play them and stuff. This album was really good. I really enjoyed listening to a lot of hits on it. And even the non-hits were good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Are you good on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of in the same vein and all that stuff of like, hey, we're introduced by our parents or whatever. They listened to good fucking music, or at least music was, I think, consistent over like a lot of good groups at that time. Whereas now you're like, all right, they're good for a flash in the pan or some shit like that. But the Beatles, is like one of those groups that like I think it's like instantly recognizable about like if a song comes on because they're
Within the first couple seconds, absolutely.
And they changed their style of music so often, and then did it so well in so many different ways. Like from the beginning, they're more pop and
yeah, they transition
blues and stuff, and then they get more into like more like interesting recording ways. They're really.
Paul and Lennon had their own individual careers that still did incredible.
And George Harrison.
And George, yeah.
Harrison.
I mean, Lennon had by far the greatest of the single
Most
careers,
commercial.
but yeah.
No. He had the most commercial success, I would say, up until that time. But obviously, because McCartney's still alive,
Yeah.
he's just more in like kind of over the span of like 40, 50 years.
Yeah, Wings too.
He was in Wings. I forgot that. Yeah. All right. So
Nice dropping.
all right, let's go A side,
Love
B side.
Wings.
So AJ, this is just simply like there are songs I would say on each album, not I, but all of us say that like would fall into an A category. They're more commercially successful, or more recognizable, and then there's the B side that are just not the greatest hits, but like just throw out a couple of the songs. I got them kind of up here.
Yep.
But just a couple of the ones that either
From the Abbey Road album, okay. Yeah.
just from the Abbey Road
Okay.
album of like, hey, these were on the album.
I mean, obviously the number one hit on that is "Here Comes the Sun," so that's obviously the most recognizable.
I'm not sure if that's the number one.
It's
but
in the A
it's
side
in there.
category.
Yeah, that's A.
so-
That's
okay.
A
Yeah, that
category
is
for
definitely
sure.
the A-side
A-side, yeah.
category. But Bobby and I were actually texting about this last night, and I'd have to agree. One of the ones on the B side, sorry, I'm stealing your thunder here, Bobby's, but Octopus. I mean,
Octopus's Garden.
Octopus's
man.
Garden
Oh,
was-
man,
that's a great
love
song,
that.
and that's definitely on the B side because
Yeah.
if you're just talking to a novice fan, they're not gonna know what the hell Octopus in the Sky is. Like they're gonna be, huh?
Octopus
They're gonna look at you like they're higher than a kite, but then you say, "Here comes the sun." They'll be like, "Oh, I know, Here Comes the Sun." Yeah, because it's been on fucking like 8,000 commercials in the last 15 years.
So you got those two. You got the Here Comes the Sun, and then Octopus's Garden.
All
Yes.
right, and for
Is
me,
that
sorry, I'm gonna just
Yeah,
knock
just
it out.
go, man.
Carry that weight. I really felt that was a great way to kind of it's not their last track on the album, but it comes towards the end. Love that song. Love the lyrics. Love the message. And then B-side Octopus Garden. And then I mentioned Here Comes the Sun. If you guys ever played Call of Duty, when someone gets the nuke option, I always have that song pops on, because here comes the sun, and then the guy, nuke option, then boom, everyone dies. Come on, Call of Duty.
Went real dark with that.
Oh, come on, Call of Duty. We've all done that. You've been a part of a
I don't
map.
play video games,
No,
but
I
I
know,
know
but
what
you've
you're
been part of
talking
a map where someone gets the nuke, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but Bobby, my mind doesn't go to, if this was real, this is the song that's going to be.
The guy's
playing.
dropping the sun on you.
Okay, fair point. Those are those A side, B side for you, Bob. Anything else?
Come Together. I mean, everyone loves that song. It's a great way to start the album. It just, I think, like I said, it's over commercialized, but it's still a great song, on its own merit.
Okay.
Again, another song in like 10,000 commercials.
Yep, definitely so. Ryan?
I'm gonna go with Something. I love Something.
Okay.
For the A side, I think it's George Harrison, I believe, on that one. It's really good. And then for B, I really loved listening to I Want You. She's So Heavy. That was really good. That one.
Oh man, pass on that.
That was the
garbage.
747.
I like that one,
garbage.
dude.
Garbage.
I liked it. I dug it. And then if I didn't pick that one, I would go with Oh Darling. I like that one.
Oh,
And
darling.
even
Okay.
that one was kind of just for me. All right.
I would definitely say the just in a quick comment there. The I Want You, She's So Heavy. I thought that
I dug it.
It was there was too many different
shovel.
tempo changes. Like I like that they changed the tempo throughout the album in some instances, but like the 747, it's like you kind of have to have like a ballad in my opinion, where like it's got to kind of get you going there, start slow and then really crescendo.
There was no
into
structure to that
I was
one.
playing FIFA while listening to it, and I did not notice the length. It would seem good to me.
It is a 747 song though. I will say, Come Together, Here Comes the Sun. She Came in Through.
The last couple tracks are
window,
forgettable, like On Her
one,
Majesty or whatever. Those like ones that are like 20 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
Yeah, so
I was listening to the album, and then it gets to like the last two songs, and then I'm like, and then it goes to Come Together. I'm like, oh, those were really freaking short.
Yeah, so they did a weird thing of like,
sound bit or
the Beatles in general, their songs are shorter side, 2 minutes 30 seconds, 2 minutes 45 seconds, whatever.
Well, that used to be the way to do it, because if you wanted to play on the radio, it couldn't be any
It has to be
longer than
under
that.
30.
Not necessarily. You guys are forgetting about one of the greatest songs of all time that they thought would never be a song. And
We're
I'm
talking
not
about Queen, I know.
Yep,
Well, that
Bohemian
was-
Rhapsody.
and
That
that
was
was-
a
So that
7-second
pushed them
song.
That was years later. Though.
Yeah, I know,
Not
but-
many years later. It was
Still.
mid-70s.
Yeah, but even then, it got pushed back. It got heavy
It
pushback.
did, but it's one of the greatest songs
I
of
know.
all time.
Okay, but we're keeping
I'm saying,
it to,
I'm saying
I know.
the state of mind of the thinking of that they were. Why they would
yeah,
make
we're
it.
still in
Yeah.
1968, 60.
Right. So again, it's the sign of the time that they're shorter or whatever. I would just quickly say the B-sides one that I really enjoyed was Golden Slumbers.
That was good.
The Octopus Garden
Ooh,
Muscle
I got
on that one. And then I would just kind of also say, like, in my opinion on this album, I'm starting, like, to me, I feel like there are a lot of misses. Even though, like, the shorter songs, I don't really count those too much. But, like, this,
You're going to hurt Ryan's feelings. Here we go.
but, like, the end, like, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Some of these
Some of the weird track titles,
Polythene
too.
Pam, all of those like ones I was just like, oh, why the fuck is this on here? Like, it's such a great album, but then they kind of like went back to these dog
All right, I
shit
want an
ones.
activity for you guys right now. Thumb out on the side. Sun King. Up or down?
I don't remember, honestly. I'll go down.
Oh, you guys are crazy. That was a great track.
It just wasn't my
All right.
favorite.
All right, sorry. I
did-
got 1 out of 3.
I didn't heart it on my Spotify, so.
It's all good, man. So with the album review, let's throw it out to anybody else. Kind of final little nitpicks. I mean, something you didn't like about it, or something that you're like, it's the Beatles, so you can't really critique it too much. But
I think it was sign of the times, like some of the track titles and just a few of them, a few of the tracks. I just why put it even on the vinyl? I mean, like the ones like the 20-seconders at the end. Like I would like to understand the reasoning behind it. It's not the fact that I'm against it. Just at least give me the background so I could better understand it. I guess.
no, I definitely agree. I'm kind of confused at this. Some of the songs kept in the very same tempo, and then when the songs kind of change tempo, like I know the Beatles have songs like that.
They have range.
It's a melancholy album.
I'm much more, enjoyed when that started to happen. I don't like to have the same, like, hey, this is just like same tempo. It's like they're good, but switch it up a little bit. Like that's, and again, it's not a huge critique, but you know,
Yeah, it's like a monotone album. Everything is kind of the same.
I would
the
say
same
yeah
beat.
for the most part. All right, Ryan, what you got? Final thoughts on the beats?
Love the Beatles, man. Love them.
Who's your favorite Beatle?
Ooh.
I know you're gonna go Ringo, but let's try to.
No, probably I don't know, either Harrison or McCartney. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I depending on the day.
Depending on the day.
I'm on a Lennon kick.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I like John Lennon, just freaky deaky. Like I'm gonna try and.
I like how he pushes it. I don't
the
like
shit.
his political affiliation, but I like
I'm
the
talking
fact.
about the music.
No, I know, but I like his music because at least it starts a conversation, makes you think. So I could appreciate that.
I like how they have all different
They all have, yeah.
styles.
I'm a
or
Ringo
whatever.
Starr guy.
You're a Ringo guy, my God. Not even the best drummer in the band.
Hey,
joke.
Ringo
Was that-
Starr, man. You know,
Is that
I
Dewey
can't go
Cox?
for Lennon because he brought Yoko Ono in and fucking destroyed one of
Yeah.
the greatest bands
Number
of all
9.
time. So
Number 8.
Or is it number 8?
No, it's The Simpsons.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the other shit. I try and like, I think we've been talking about it a little bit to wrap up. Like, we really try and focus on like, hey, what is the music here? Because
Yeah,
there's
let's
a lot
stay
of
objective.
a lot
I
of
get
other
that.
shit though that happens in the
all I would say
personal
is
lives.
they're no Queen.
I mean, we did Queen.
We did do a Queen review, didn't
Oh
we?
man.
No, we didn't. I think I was.
Ooh.
Well, when you have Queen on, you gotta. that's
All
my
right.
favorite band of all time.
All right.
So
We'll
I
bring
know
him
so
back.
much crap
I
about
like
Queen.
It. Hell yeah,
Love
dude.
Oh, they are my
It was
favorite
brought up in
band of all
conversation,
time.
I think, but I don't think we ever did a full.
All right,
I
when-
will debate this with anybody. I will debate this with anybody till the day that I die. Greatest frontman of all time, Freddie Mercury.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man. All right, we will definitely get you back on. We love it. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back. Movie review is Uncle Buck, who is Ryan's.
Yeah.
And oh shit, we got a tease for the
tease
next
the
one. Sorry.
next music.
I was
album.
jumping the gun here.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, what do you got next album review?
Give me Incubus Morning View. Let's do it.
That's a solid one right there, man. All
I
right,
love
Incubus. What'd you say?
Morning View.
Morning
That's their
View.
second.
Good old
I think.
Incubus.
Second one. All right.
Saw them live a bunch. Okay.
We'll check that out for next week. We'll definitely have AJ back on for the album review when we do a
get to
Queen,
Yep.
and we'll fucking do it to you in a little couple minutes.
Journeyman Lounge. We'll see you in a bit.
Deuces.
Bitch.
All right. Welcome back to the Journeymen Lounge, loyal listeners. Thank you for tuning in. We are about to do our this week's movie review, which was my choice, 1989's Uncle Buck, directed and written by John Hughes.
Shout out.
Great
One of the
great director.
best directors, especially in the 80s of that decade. Other works of his, he directed Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, 16 Candles, and Weird Science. He also wrote National Lampoon's Vacation and Christmas Vacation,
Home Alone 1
Miss-
and 2.
Home Alone 1.
Oh
and
my
about
God,
2.
this guy owned it for a good decade.
I mean, he was the man.
Mr. Mom, Pretty in Pink, Dutch, Beethoven. He's got his hand out in a lot of places.
Yeah,
It's-
his resume is nice and thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Chi-Town guy, too.
Yeah,
All right.
shout out.
So this movie is
No kidding.
basically about a John Candy plays Uncle Buck, who's like kind of like is the father of the family. I don't remember his name, Bobby.
Bobby.
He's kind of his wife kind of seems like she doesn't like him, obviously, so that he's kind of separated from
Well,
the
Uncle
fa-
Buck is a degenerate gambler who
Yeah.
has an apartment, who's like in his late 30s and hasn't committed
Yeah.
yet.
It's
and
me in 5 years.
Yeah. So he's kind of like I don't know, like, doesn't play
Unsavory
by the rules,
character.
Not traditional. And they get in a pinch where her father dies and needs someone to watch the kids.
No.
Heart
doesn't-
attack.
doesn't
Has a heart
die, but-
attack.
Sorry, it's a heart attack.
in Indianapolis.
They have 3 kids, one who's like 16 and 2 are like 6 and 7 or
Yeah,
something
right
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is Macaulay Culkin's one of the kids, and he has to watch the kids, and then
This was a year
hijinks
before-
ensue.
Yeah, pretty much.
This
yeah.
is a year before Home Alone, too. So
Yeah.
I think Home Alone was
Home Alone was
91.
1990.
No, it
91.
was 90.
91,
It was
yeah.
90.
90.
I just looked it up.
It's 90.
Look it
you're
up
saying
again.
90.
Look it up again. I'm pretty
Bet
sure
you
it's 91.
$100,000.
It is 90 for
pretty
sure.
sure.
Home
I'll
Alone
take
1's
that back.
90. Home Alone 2 is 92.
Okay. We'll take your word for. Okay, tensions are flaring up here.
No,
We're gonna.
fine.
All right, so that's the
I'm kidding, I'm
synopsis,
kidding.
and he has to watch the kids. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, so he has to watch the kids, and the oldest one, Tia, she kind of butts heads with him.
Bitch.
She has like a boyfriend named Bug who is trying to fuck her basically, and Uncle Buck sees right through him, and she doesn't realize he's actually being a good uncle, but she thinks he's being an asshole.
Overbearing.
And
yeah.
he bonds with Macaulay Culkin's character and the other sister Maisie a lot.
Maisie, she's such a cutie
And
too.
basically, like, he kind of changes for the better as the movie goes along. He rubs off on them, they rub off on him, and he becomes a better person for it, I would say. And they for having had him in their life, kind of is like the movie.
Right.
Okay.
I would agree.
So let's start with down the line here. What's your guys' experience with this movie? I'm assuming you guys have seen it before. When did you see it? How did you see it? What were your first initial thoughts? Start here.
I mean, I'm a big John Candy guy, so pretty much all of his movies I've loved. He's just, always the fat, jolly guy. Always actually plays like a drinker on his movies, so I can kind of feel for him, And but no, I mean, this is one of his more heartfelt movies, and John Hughes and John Candy had a definitely good relationship because he's in quite a few John Hughes
Yeah, he was
movies.
in Home Alone. We were just talking about that. Yeah.
He's in quite a few John Hughes movies. So, I mean, John Hughes is just a local Chicago dude, got a friendship built with John Candy, and was just in a bunch of them. But for this particular movie, like I said, it's one of his more heartfelt movies that he did.
I
And,
can see that.
he's just the drunk, degenerate uncle that is in need, and then he just saves the day.
For sure, Bobby.
I saw Uncle Buck a little bit later on in my life than I care to admit, but when I did see it, I mean, this is a combination because I was watching that Canadian Bacon with Dan Aykroyd. If you guys get a chance, really funny. Watch that.
Fantastic movie.
Great movie. But I always enjoyed him as an actor. I think he has a great dynamic, and he could kind of go. He could go a bunch of different ways, but in this one, it really felt like true to character almost. Like it didn't feel like it was much acting him, but his sincerity towards the kids and trying to help them out through different tough spots. I was like, dude, I would love to have this guy in my family tree. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Absolutely. Oh, you Woj.
Yeah, I probably have seen this along with a litany of other movies like mid 90s. I mean, this is a very wholesome type of movie, so I'm sure it was like definitely a rentable flick when I was probably like 6 or 7 or whatever.
Blockbuster, baby.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Family video. I'm more of a family video guy, but I get Blockbuster.
I get that, Mr. Hanover Park.
Yeah. And then I would also just say that like the John Candy like roles and all that stuff, like last movie I think was in like 93 or something like that, 92.
I think
Before he passed,
I believe
yeah.
it was 95. After
I
he
think
died.
his last movie was Cool Runnings.
No, it was
No,
Canadian.
it was Wagons East.
Thank you.
okay.
Yes, Wagons East,
Okay.
correct. And I think soon thereafter he passed.
Wagons East. Huh?
Yeah.
Either way, I'm just saying that stretch of John Candy was such a great
Funny.
thing. Like it's a thing that you go back into. Like
Sure.
Ryan, I know you mentioned Stripes before. Like he's such a great character in that stuff. But like again, John Candy is like funny well. If I need a laugh, I'm putting on some John Candy.
Absolutely, yeah. For me, I'm sure my dad showed me this movie when I was young. And I don't know if it was the first John Candy movie I saw, but I mean, it's definitely probably the most memorable of his for me. It's like you guys said, he's very heartwarming and believable and genuine. Very few actors who can pull that off. Like I think him, a Robin Williams type, maybe like John Goodman, someone like that,
John Goodman, that's a good.
who is like a believable
similarity.
person in the role, but who's also equally funny and like heartfelt and can do all those types of things. And really, the movie doesn't work without him. Like he's very much the whole, the big part
He's
of it.
the antithesis of the movie.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So I guess, is there any other thoughts you guys had about that you want to get into, or should we just get into
Let's go into the next category.
Cool. Let's get into our favorite scenes. Let's go with that. Why don't you guys each give me like a couple of scenes that, if you were flipping channels that you want to watch if you were doing that.
Okay, I'll go in chronological by the movie. I'll do 2 of them. The first one that I thought was funny is you have they just panned a Macaulay Culkin doing dishes in the kitchen, and then the call comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm doing the dishes. Uncle Buck is trying to teach me, to be a man. Doing the dishes,
busting my hump.
Exactly, he's busting my hump. He's gonna put hair on my chest.
I'm learning a trade.
Exactly. And then the second one, which is a lot more heartfelt, is when John is about to go and basically waste the life savings at the racetrack. He has his niece and nephew in there, but then Tia is MIA, and she basically tells them that, hey, tell Uncle Buck that he lost. So he has them in the car, and then he calls up his girl, and it's just like, you know what? Hey, Shanice.
Shanice Kobolowski.
Yeah, and then I need help.
Very Chicago-based name.
Exactly. Polish pride, baby. And he doesn't go to the racetrack, and he goes to find her, and then he finds, Bug in the room, and he thought it was his niece, and he drills out the door.
That was intense.
And then grabs and then finds his niece down the street walking, and she's like, "Oh, what'd you do with Bug?" They pull over, and he's in the trunk of the car taped up, and I thought it was hilarious. And he's like, "Oh, I'm an amateur dentist." And then she's like, "Yeah, he is."
So 20 scenes later that are your favorite. No,
that was like one continuous scene.
That's fine. No, I get it.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. Was a good choice, Bobby.
Mine was, I know that was Miles, his birthday was coming up, and then as soon as he comes down the stairs, this guy has
the
a 4-foot diameter like pancake surprise with sausage links and whatnot, just all around.
This is the snow shovel to flip the pancakes.
But I was just so excited about that because you saw just his eyes glow.
Yeah, they lit up. It looked so genuine.
So that and the conversation with the assistant principal are my two favorite scenes.
Go downtown, take this quarter, and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
Well, he also in that he keeps saying like, "Oh, they call me melanoma."
Melanoma.
Melanoma.
I mean, oh God.
No, wart. I'm the wart. Not you, but that's like one of my favorite John Candy cadences though, because he does it a couple times, like when he's also on the phone with Shanice, and he's like, "What? But let me." Guys, it just gets me every fucking time.
Just a bit of Tourette's.
So I would say my favorite scene is Bobby, definitely with the shovel pancake scene. That's great. I would also say the in altercation with the clown that comes up.
Pooter the clown.
Just jacks him in the face twice.
Back up. Boom.
And he's
Have you been drinking?
He's dude. Also, the clown. What was his name again?
Mike Starr.
Yeah, I know.
Pooter the clown.
Pooter the clown. He goes,
Pooter there.
Pooter, if you go to any Midwest local, I am the Midwest local entertainment go-to. Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. But
he's up in a bug dress, a VW bug in a rat.
Mouse, yeah.
Dude, but it had that like felt. It looked like the
similar to what is it?
It looks like Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, dude, I love that.
The Shaggin' Wagon.
Shaggin' Wagon. There you go. But yeah, those are my two scenes. Anything not with the niece in it, pretty much, was my favorite scenes.
All right, cool. I got like three. I'm gonna go through real quick.
3.
3. I could have more, dude. There's so many.
I know. You can say the whole movie.
I love when they call him in the middle of the night and he doesn't know who his brother is. He's like, Bob who? He's like, your brother, Bobby. And then he does this thing where he coughs and he has to wake himself up and he has this look on his face. I fucking die every time I see that. Then he gets the bowling ball in the head and fucking drives to the wrong house and wakes up all the neighbors in the middle of the night. That's
it's
fucking
like, Bob,
hilarious.
this isn't very funny.
And then, I'm getting
really irritated.
I'm getting pissed off now. And then I love this one is great where he's talking to the wife about, he's like, I quit smoking cigarettes. Hey, I stopped smoking cigarettes.
I have a 5-year plan.
Isn't that something? Yeah. I'm on to cigars now. Yeah, I'm on a 5-year plan. Eliminate cigarettes. Then I go to cigars, then pipes, then chewing tobacco. Then I'm on to that nicotine gum. Yeah. And she's just so blown away. And then my favorite that I always go to is when Marcy comes over and they have the impromptu dance party and they're playing that one song and they're going back and forth and Shanice comes in and he's still doing it and he's just so shocked or whatever and then he's like, hey Shanice, this is Marcy from across the street and shut up, Buck. Yeah, you're right. I love that scene. That one's really good. I mean, and there's plenty more, but those are the few I'd mention for sure. All right, cool.
What else you got?
Let's go to quotes. You guys have any quotes you want to throw out there?
I definitely have a couple of quotes.
Start with
I'm gonna start with me.
Okay, go ahead. No, go.
Or sorry, Woj.
yeah, start with Woj.
I'm gonna go just real quick because I only got a few. But in the very first scene when they call, he goes, Miles was like, balls.
Yeah.
And then he goes, she's like, don't use that word. He's like, what's another word for balls? Nuts.
Yeah. And
It's
he's
just
like,
Macaulay Culkin being very cute.
the dog's a ball sniffer.
Yeah. And then, dude, he's like, it's 7:02 in the a.m. You're listening to W. I Don't Have to Go to Work Today, brought to you by Kobolowski Tires. For the best for tires, see Janice Kobolowski, like that little AM radio. And then the Miles and the Buck exchange is like, you have much more hair in your nose than my dad.
Thanks for noticing.
How nice of you
I
to
like it.
notice.
How many questions in a
That
row?
whole thing is.
I'm a kid.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm a kid. That's my job.
Consecutive
that whole
questions are
thing.
38. 38.
Where do you live?
That's
in
even
the
a longer
city.
You
story.
stole mine, Bobby.
No, it's all right. No, that was Woj.
Sorry, those are my couple.
So mine is him describing the hatchet. I keep a hatchet. Do you know what a hatchet
yes.
is? That whole banter. I don't know it off the top of my head, but like
I mean,
just
it's like
that,
a 2-minute
I like to
dialogue.
keep it, not the skin, just to maim.
a little off the shoulder.
I got it in the trunk. You want to see?
Yeah, I know. So,
Hey, maybe later.
but also this is kind of more of a smaller part in there. It just made me laugh. He broke that plate. He's like, so where do you get that? Like an antique shop. He's
London.
on the phone.
Yeah,
and she's just like, oh my God, this is after Tia was lying about him drinking and being this terrible guardian.
And how many times do you feed the dog a day? How many times do you
I
think?
just kept the toilet
5-6 times.
Dog gets fed once.
And I've been leaving the toilet seat up for him to drink water. Oh, he shouldn't drink that.
Oh, it's blue,
Yeah. It's so good.
Those are my
Nice.
noticeable
AJ,
quotes.
got something?
Yeah, about you, AJ?
Yeah, again, it's just going back, the whole, did you know that I'm an amateur dentist? And then, like, Tia just grabs the drill and just starts pressing it, and the dude Bug is just shitting his pants, and then just going back, do you always ask this many questions?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm getting interrogated. Yes, I'm a kid. So what's your record for the most questions? 38. Okay, let's move on.
I like it. He's like, I got to teach him a golf lesson now. He pulls out his 5-wood.
Oh, yeah.
Nails him in the head with the ball.
I'm going to sue you. I'm going to kick your ass. It's like, yeah, that guy, of course.
Oh, dude, but he says, oh, yeah, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to kick your ass. And then he starts driving the car back, and he's like, I'm going to fucking run you over. I love it. All right, Ryan, go for it.
I love when they're bowling. He's like, if the object of the game was to get the ball as close to the pins as possible without knocking any of them down, you'd be champion of the world. Really?
Maisie's such a cutie. I'd love to have a niece like her.
And then she's great. And then I love when, like you said, when they have the pancakes. Like, happy birthday. I hope you're hungry. You should have seen the toast. I couldn't even get through the door.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What about hold on? I love that she's 6 years old.
Yeah.
That whole conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I dismissed that. He's like, I can't. He's like, that whole just like, if I have to come back, I'm gonna be looking
if
for
you
you.
even so much as scowl at my niece or any kid in this school.
And the kid outside is smiling. He's
Yeah.
like, get her.
He's like, I'm going to go in there, soften her up.
And I really love that they cut to Maisie in the class. He's like, I have a story. He's like,
yeah.
my Uncle Buck still can't get the goddamn washing machine open.
Oh,
and then
that's
my
one-
dog threw up on the couch for an hour.
I love that though. That's still one of the a funnier scene though. It's like him trying to do the wash. Yeah, you're gonna take this fucking load in.
So, he
This-
says,
and
I'm gonna
Marcy
shove
comes
my
up-
load on you whether you like it or not.
And then he puts a hair dryer and the clothes
And
on.
he microwave socks.
That's
So
so
why
good.
did your uncle microwave sock? Because he said, I can't figure out how to use the goddamn dryer.
Macaulay Culkin's got a lot of good ones too, like when they're about to go bowling and he's looking at T, he's like, waiting for your sex or whatever. Like, he's really good.
I mean, again, it's the start of his career. When
Well, I was going to say, like, just an observation. I know that at the time that Home Alone wasn't made, but it was probably in the process of being made. It's like 1 year before. Some of these scenes are like clearly a Home Alone, like allude to that, or it could be a prequel. Like if you didn't know any better, like him doing the dishes, like you said, by himself. When Shanice comes over and he's watching the door with the right there. and
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I see your
Can I
ID?
see your
Pull it
ID,
out.
please?
It's like, pull it out.
She's getting all upset. Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind this, and I know you're probably going to get to this. This was all filmed in the northwest suburbs. Winnetka,
Yes.
Wilmette, Wheeling,
Glenview.
Well,
Glenview, and
John Hughes notorious for filming in the Chicago suburbs. Most of the movies, Breakfast Club, this one, Ferris Bueller, many of them.
it's fun to see that because hell, we lived around there. I know some of these places that they filmed.
The crazy thing is too that most of the sets were built in the gym in the high school. like the
kidding.
house and a bunch of them. It's fucking nuts. I think the only one they maybe filmed that was the bowling alley they went to, which is demolished now.
What bull? What?
It was in Cicero.
Cicero.
Yeah, but
Johnny fucking Cicero.
which I love, by the way. I love that bowling alley, that old school like
Yeah.
Old bowling
alley,
alley feel,
all the
yeah.
cigarette smoke in there, and just like I don't know.
I just gotta say, man, I used to love when you could be in a bowling alley and
Yeah.
like the cigarette smoke would just waft over you. You're
Oh,
like, oh, now we're bowling.
I had
Now-
a,
yeah,
I had a
now
question
we
for you
mean
guys.
business,
What do you think Uncle Buck is better at? Is he a better bowler or golfer?
Bowler.
Bowler for sure. He's fat as fuck. So he
Hey, well,
can't
John
get his-
Daly's fat and he can still pipe
he
it.
did,
He
he did
doesn't-
nail Bug with the golf ball on the
He
fly
did,
with a
but, hey,
5-wood in the
okay.
middle of the night.
Okay, he's there's fat and then there's John Candy.
For sure.
Oh, all right.
I'm agreeing with AJ because of like physics. Like I don't think he would be able to really get the bowling is
He's
such a
good
low.
60 pounds heavier
Hey,
than
he
Daly
even
at
said,
his max.
I like having my sticks in the car. I can go play whenever I want. So
You know
he's
what?
clearly
I'm gonna
avid golfer.
I'm going to go
too.
with a golfer
Fair
because
point,
you
fair
don't
point.
need much. If you could put 250 middle of the fairway, that's all you got to do. You're going to be dangerous doing that.
I think it would be fun to do either one with him. I think it'd be
I would-
a great
Well, no
fucking
shit.
time.
I think I'd have a better time golfing because I
thi-
think it's a longer thing. you
I
know.
think back in his day when he was in a little better shape, he's probably a hell of a softball player too. 16-inch
I can see
softball.
that.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, dude, he screams to me that kind of like fat, but like somewhat
Athletic,
weirdly
yeah.
athletic guy that
like
like.
Farley.
He'd be great at
Yeah,
darts, I bet.
Here's
I think Farley was very very coordinated. I don't know if he was really like.
John Candy, I wouldn't say as coordinated, but still. you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Here's another either-or proposition. Who do you think was more of a bitch, the mom or Tia?
Great
Tia.
question. Great
Tia
question.
by far. But then she turned into, after she realized Uncle Buck just had her best interests at heart. Obviously, the mom, I am guessing you don't really know, but I'm guessing the mother was the breadwinner because, like, she was never there and she didn't know about the games and stuff like
yeah.
that. So, I mean, you don't really know too much about the mom, but Tia, I would have to say, was the bitch because she called Shanice and said, "Oh yeah, he's Uncle Buck isn't here right now. He's going out with the neighbor."
Right.
All right, I have a different opinion.
I would also like to rename this segment
ahead.
"Cunt of the Week."
Okay,
my
yeah.
God.
We did it with Blow. We're bringing it
Yeah.
back for Uncle Buck.
All right, I'm gonna go with the mom because this is their uncle, and the kids are 16, 6 and 5 or something like that. They've maybe seen him once in the past, and when he's going through the album, they have him
Yeah,
like
that was
folded
cold.
out
That was
of
fucking
a
cold,
wedding,
dude.
wedding photo, and it's like. And I almost kind of to his brother, like, dude, fuck you too. Like, I'm your brother and I'm barely in your life. That would kill me. Like, me and my brother are very close. And granted, I try to get out there as much as I can. But, he's a father now. He's got one on the way. But I would never want to feel apart from him if he ever called me like, yo, man, I'm there, like, lickety split.
Right, but I also just think though that like I'm sure Buck has been doing some things of like
Oh, I'm sure.
maybe some seedy character type shit.
Right,
that, like,
you maybe don't want to bring your kids around.
I
get
could
that.
also see kind of
Horse
both ways of
racing.
like, yes, the brother should be doing more, and the sister-in-law should honestly be like, fuck it, whatever. But then also, Buck probably has to, write
But even
some.
Tia says, yeah, what it's been, 16 years, and, I've only seen you
I
like
think
once.
he
No,
saw
it was
her
less than that
before.
because they had just moved from Indianapolis a few years before that, and she was just like, "How many times have you been here since we moved here?"
Right.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's right.
And then
None.
when he was driving there, he's like, "Oh, she's like 10 now."
Yeah.
She's about 10.
Right. No, so like I said, I'm more upset with probably her because I think she limited Bobby's, contact with him because they thought that, why get involved? But, family's family. So I don't know.
You say Bobby, you meant Buck.
Well, he's talking
Bobby's
about
his brother.
Brother.
Oh, Bobby.
Like the wife
Yeah.
saying to her husband,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah, no, we're kind of, axing him out.
I thought you
Damn
were
it,
supplanting
Bobby.
yourself into the movie.
No, I'm
and I was
not.
like, Bobby, what's going
I'd
on?
love to be in this movie. That'd
All
be
right,
fun.
Bobby, real quick, tell him about your gay ass.
Okay, so, I have this martini glass.
Bobby's
It is-
drinking a Cosmo.
Right. No, it's an orange teeny. But anywho, it's like a Yeti glass. You throw this in the freezer. It's double walled, and it holds about like 10 to 12 ounces. So if you want to go out on the boat and it clicks
This
shut,
is not a paid promotion.
this is Orca. That's the brand. But
yeah, they pay us $10 million to film out of my
it's a
fucking
di-
apartment.
It's a different feel. It's a different feel, and it's fun. I don't know. I like it. It kind of has
All
that.
right.
What's
We're-
the color?
we're
Tiffany.
giving-
Tiffany blue or something.
All right.
Teal.
Teal.
Uncle Buck would love it.
I mean, it would be something that you went Uncle Buck vibe of for sure. Like, I don't give a shit.
I really don't.
Oh, he went full South Side for sure.
I really don't.
All right, so that was the
Oh, what was your answer? You didn't give me the answer.
of what was the question?
Who's the
Bitch.
bigger bitch, the mom or the daughter?
I'm sorry. I thought
Tia,
I
you-
gotta
you're-
give my answer too. I was waiting for you.
I mentioned it before the pod, but Tia, I mean, hands down, I fucking hate.
Interesting.
I thought she was the worst,
I'm gonna go.
but it's
go-
also good. But it's also good for the movie
Yeah.
that she made me hate her so much.
Well, I think she was very open about her hatred. It wasn't something like he didn't expect.
I'm gonna go with Bobby and say the mom, and here's why.
Thank you. I like it.
Here, let me explain.
Go.
I'm all
Tia
ears.
was a cunt to everyone. Her mom, her dad, her brother, her
Teenage
sister,
bitch, yeah.
everyone but Bug. Everyone. The mom, we don't know why I don't know what Bug did to her or something, but she is like really a bitch to him like the whole time. He tries to kiss her goodbye, she fucking pulls away. He said the album thing, they folded the thing. She doesn't want him to watch the kids at all. And then when he mentions it, he says the trashy people he associates with, that woman who sells tires. Like selling tires is so bad or something. Like what
Right.
a uppity
Maybe she's a little
stuck-up-
posh and he's a little low class. Maybe.
I mean, it's a little. I mean,
Yeah. No, she's way above.
and also I think her bitchiness went down into the daughter and influenced her.
Of
So
course.
she didn't have really a choice in the matter.
you're
But-
saying secondhand bitch.
Secondhand bitch, and she's a teenager too. So teenagers are usually generally
Graphic.
bitchy anyway. They're both are bitchy either way, but
I
I'm
mean,
I'm going with mom, the
It's
mullet
never
mom.
said, but just based on how she acts, I'm guessing the mom is either like a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm
All
thinking
right.
real estate.
Next category. These are good conversations.
I do like the random question, but like, what did the mom do?
I like throwing him in there every now and then. All
I
right,
like
let's
it.
do. Who's your favorite supporting performance in the movie? Like who, if you had to pick someone you wanted more of it in, but like basically anybody outside of John Candy, who's your favorite supporting performance?
Honestly, just because of like the funniness he brought, it's Macaulay Culkin. You didn't really see him much in the movie. He was only in like a few select scenes.
For sure, but he shines in all of them.
He did shine. Again, like I'm gonna bring it back. Like when he did the dishes, that was like
Hilarious.
and then it
When he-
obviously
when he-
like was a precursor to
Right,
Home Alone.
And when he interrogates Uncle Buck, with the whole back and forth.
Yeah. What's your record? 38.
Also, I would love to bring up this scene where he says, "Anybody interested in a lunch trade?" And he has like the most disgusting lunch of all time.
He's got
Our
like
lunch
a
trade,
He's
yeah.
got like a cow
like
tongue or
fish
something in
and,
there.
like,
He has a fucking can of
cucumbers.
sardines
and like a bag of.
I think
And
it was a full cucumber.
Yeah,
though, as
full
well.
cucumber.
Like unpeeled.
And like a pickled egg.
and a
There
full
were-
can of sardines. And he's like, as soon as he said, anybody want to trade? Everybody
They
just
all
goes.
scattered.
Yeah, they back away. There was some type of fish in that bag. I don't know. It was like in water. I don't know what it was. It was
Like I
like
said,
It was
It looked like there was a
moving.
cow
some
tongue in there or
creature.
something.
Yeah. How about you, Bobby?
You know what? I think a little bit more Shanice and then Maisie. There were some fun little
Maisie
scenes
was
with
really
Maisie.
good.
Yeah,
I thought she was great.
She had some great little one-liners like in the classroom, but like just having her more involved in different scenes because I know Macaulay Culkin had a little bit more. I think the talking
Sure.
of it, but
She
also
was good. Yeah.
Shanice. I think I would like to have seen the Macaulay Culkin Shanice at the door scene extended just
Yeah,
for
that was
another like
great.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
That would have been funnier.
I'm here to watch you.
Yeah, so the screening process that would have been funnier to kind of play that
Gotta
out.
get your social security number 2.
Pull it out. How about you, Woj?
Yeah, I would go with. I'd like to see a couple more scenes of him and his brother Bob, and see like if Bob was like, "Stop being a jackass," like stuff like that. Like how he would react. I'm definitely on the train with Shanice Kobolowski, just that Chicago accent. It's so
Hell
fucking
yeah.
funny.
Let me guess. You're not coming to work today.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, every other scene I thought was fine. I mean, again, I really couldn't stand the Marcy Dahlgren Frost
Oh man.
scenes.
Damn.
That was
Well,
grating.
get
to
ready
me.
for this answer because the obvious answer is Macaulay Culkin. But I'm gonna, since you already said it,
Right.
I'm gonna go. I would go Marcy for the second choice.
Marcy.
Fucking, are you Laurie Metcalf?
Great
Fucking
actress.
Hilarious.
I fucking can't stand
I
it.
would have loved one more scene with her and Buck. Maybe they go out like shopping or something, or like some type of weird like female friend thing.
See, I think they brought her on too strong. Like she's obviously a crazy bitch,
Yeah.
but like it's just something where
She's
it's just something where like they went 0 to 60 where I was like, if you give her like another scene of like maybe she's like quirky or something like that, I would have been much more on the Darcy Dahlgren, whatever the fuck her name is.
I think it's sign of the time. She just walked in their house twice. Like, not a ring, not a knock,
Yeah.
just like kind of strolling through. All right, what's happening here?
Oh, nice.
Weird. I don't know,
That's a Midwest type.
that
of
is a
thing.
Midwest thing, but at the same time, I was just like, huh.
My third place, I'm going Pal from the bowling alley.
which is
Shameless.
Shameless. Mickey's dad.
Which is the next category we're gonna get into. The That Guy Award.
Uh-huh.
Pal, of course. Mickey's dad and Shameless.
Pooter.
I got 3 more. If you
Yeah,
want.
go hit me.
Bob, the dad of the brother, Uncle Buck's brother, is the dad in Kick-Ass.
Garrett Brown.
He's in some other things
Okay.
as well. The principal is Karen's mom from Goodfellas.
Yes.
Where have you been all night? What are you
yeah.
doing? And then
And he walks right back around. He turns
of course,
around.
the perennial that guy, Pooter the Clown, is Mike Starr from Goodfellas.
He's in a bunch
Dumb
of
and
shit.
Dumber, many other things.
That was my that
Those
guy.
were the 4
You want
guys.
to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
That was improv.
Those
I
are the
love it.
obvious ones.
Okay. What else you got?
Did you guys have any recasting? Anything?
Well, hold on. Let me.
sorry, you had
Toss
more?
it over to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Woj.
I
thought we got all.
So
fucking
Jean
guy.
Louisa Kelly though is
She was in that show.
she's in the Mama Yes Dear.
Yes, dear. Yeah,
Yes,
And
she was in
she was
Yes
a
Dear.
couple other things throughout
Sure,
like,
yes.
the 90s sitcom kind of
yes.
era and like
and
shittier movies.
Maisie was in Field of Dreams as the
Right.
daughter as well.
So I'm just saying like there's a lot of just people that like end
Yeah,
up
she was
being,
a child actor for
Yeah,
a
and
lot
not
of
to
different
mention,
flicks.
I mean, that show yesterday you're talking about, that's with a good John Candy buddy, fucking Jim Belushi.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So anyway,
All right, sorry,
did you
we're
guys have any recasting, any roles you would like to have anybody else in? Any either actors or things that you maybe could have improved the movie, or you just thought would be better? Or if you don't have any, it's fine.
I wish the mother was recasted.
Like
I
someone
would have put the mother as the mother from Home Alone. I forget her name.
Oh yeah,
But I think
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara would have been better.
I just think the mother, like, yes, she's very cold to Uncle Buck, but like it could have been played so much better where I would have been like, oh shit, she was great.
I like the
in it.
similarities between the mom and the daughter. They looked alike or looked
They
enough
did look
alike.
a lot
So
alike.
that's why I thought it was
they
an
looked
okay
like they could be
casting.
mother-daughter.
The only issue I had with is Buck's brother. I mean, I'm sorry that's.
I thought he was funny.
He was fine in the 3 scenes that
Yeah.
he was fucking.
No, I know
in.
that. I'm just saying I would like to have seen someone a little bit, I guess, closer to.
Originally, it was offered to Rick Moranis, but he passed on it.
See, that to me,
That would
I
be too
would've-
much of a stretch.
I-
But Rick
I-
Moranis is hilarious.
You'd have to give him more scenes if you got Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
more
for
time.
Or like a Billy Crystal
I guess
type
mine
person.
is very sketchy recast.
And
Who
then
cares?
I mean, it's tough to supplant somebody else in that thing because I always look at it like if they did a good job like that, Jean Louisa Kelly, like I fucking hate her because of this movie.
She did a great
Great
job.
actress.
But it's because she did so well that
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't really
And
recast that.
off camera, they got along real well. By the way, her
Right.
and John Candy.
I'm sure.
So that's how good of acting they were doing. You know.
Right. Again, great
Is
actress.
she always
but-
this like
she always-
pleasant?
No, she's usually a bitch.
Yeah, in the morning. You drink coffee.
I haven't. I said I would never, ever recast John Candy. He makes this movie. However, for some reason he
Oh, hold
was.
on, here we go.
For some reason he was unavailable for this movie. Like,
Okay.
or something happened. I think John Goodman could have done a decent job. But
Chris Farley was
That
still
being-
around
I was
in
about to say
89.
Chris Farley too.
that being, let's still a little early for Farley at 89 at that point. He's a few years away.
He wouldn't be able to play
He's a little
yeah,
younger.
you're right. You're right. I don't think
younger
the age
He-
wouldn't
he-
have
Playing
matched.
his like mid to late 20s at
But
that
again,
point.
I would never
Yeah.
ever recast John Candy. Never
Right.
ever. But I'm just saying, if an alternate
I get
universe,
it.
if he was not available, John Goodman I think could have done decent.
I'm also on the
Belushi,
Dan. I'm also
maybe.
on the Dan Aykroyd train of
For
if
sure.
if Dan Aykroyd is like the kind of more seedy guy, like
Yeah.
I do like him in that kind of
Yeah.
role, like being a little bit of a prick,
For
like in
sure.
The Great Outdoors. Sorry.
for sure.
Great.
So let's go with the best. Let's go with the Neil drop. The best use of a song and scene. I have. Do you guys have any in mind? Or I have like 5 listed. If you want me to just go.
Can you just list off
Yeah,
some
I
of the
got
tracks?
nothing
Sure.
right now.
So
So
we got-
let AJ hit his real quick.
No, I got nothing.
Okay,
I got
I'll just go
nothing.
through them, and then you guys, if one
Okay.
jogs your memory, then you just say it. So we got Tweedledee when he's cooking the breakfast, Uncle Buck in the morning.
Okay.
Tweedledee.
I like the one in the car.
Oh, we get a
when
little sing along
Got
with it. Okay.
Mr. Sandman when he's sleeping with Maisie and Miles.
That's a fantastic.
Oh, that's a
one.
funny.
that
That was
You
a
got
good scene.
Jukebox Baby at the bowling alley. Wild Thing by Tone Loc when he's walking down the elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is probably my favorite, the laugh, the dancing scene with Marcy when they hit heads and Shanice catches him.
Okay.
And then one more, Bust a Move, Young MC at the Giant House Party.
At the
Which
party.
one of those would you guys say did you enjoy the most?
Definitely bowling alley.
Oh, Mr. Sandman. Oh, those kids. Because I mean, it was just funny.
Also, I would nominate. I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't know what it's called, but the song when Macaulay Culkin's washing the dishes. I love that one too. That's also
That's
a good
fun,
one.
yeah. No, but this whole Sandman scene where he's like, I'm just trying to save
Yeah.
those kids, just
can't do it.
parasites. They just.
How much you sleep with the dog?
And then he sleeps on the ground, and they grab their pillows and just join him anyways.
How about you, Woj?
I would definitely say the couple, the Bust a Move, Wild Thing.
Wow.
What was the other young? I think Got More Rhymes by Young MC. I mean, those. I love those being used because I do love the style of like late '80s kind of rap is like a little a little more my jam here. I would also say though the instrumental does sound very similar to the movie we just reviewed last week, Major League, and one of the scenes
Scores,
it just uses kind of the same like very like slow whatever.
Like the beginning and the ending you're talking about?
I think it's more of like
the dun, 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 dun.
No. It's more of a dramatic scene.
Dun,
It's
dun,
like
dun.
when he's, I think, having the more of the heart to heart with Tia.
Okay. Oh,
The
yeah.
stuff that plays
okay.
over that is
Yeah.
more of like again still in the same similar vein.
Sure.
Movies came out same year, so
Okay.
and I didn't realize that until you just said it. But
Yeah.
89,
89, both movies for sure.
other than that, again, I mean, not too many other ones that I'm like, oh, this movie.
Cool.
I think they could have kind of interchanged a lot of stuff that would have still made it.
Nice. Were there any cinematic shots that that you guys noticed that you were like, oh, that was a cool use of the camera, or like, I know it's a comedy, so there's probably isn't. I had a couple jotted down, but nothing much. I mean,
One that came out to me was the scene where Tia basically has a rehearsed, like, he was very enthusiastic. He has a great sense. And she goes once, kicks the door,
Yes.
and then he's like, he stepped back, and then he put his face, and then another one,
Yeah.
boom.
And they get him from like underneath.
Yep.
That was-
Is the coffee ready?
Yeah.
That was my favorite kind
That's
of
good.
cinematic. Yeah.
Whoa, did you have any?
I had with him holding up the hatchet.
Yes.
Kind of in the
Yes.
moonlight, and he's like,
Yes.
eh. Yeah, that one really. I mean, again, you kind of hit it on the head. It's
a comedy.
Sorry, it's a comedy movie, so not too many.
AJ, how about you?
I would say when Bug is in the trunk and he just says, "I'm an amateur dentist," and then
Yeah. Oh, and it shows her from the yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I had a couple.
right.
I like when they do the lunch trades and all the kids push away and they have like the over the top shot of them.
Yeah.
And then I think the best one was when Uncle Buck's peeling out of the parking lot when Buck's kissing her, and it has the camera on the front of the car, all this smoke peeling out of the parking lot.
Yeah, and his 1977
Yes.
Mercury
It's like you could have killed him.
Marquee.
Yeah, that was
rusted piece of shit with a
And
blown head gasket.
another good scene is when he's looking for Tia and that couple comes from behind. Your car's on fire. No, it's not on fire.
Just a little
I wouldn't go there.
Just a
With,
little oil.
I wouldn't go there with that hat. You'll get killed. They hate that hat.
That was a fun. That was a fun. I wouldn't say it's a cinematic one, but his transition through the party that was.
Oh,
kinda
that was
fun.
cool. Yeah, I was
That
like
was good.
following him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, cool. So let's go to the other one. The spin-off, prequel, sequel, anything that we'd want to do with any characters or anything from this movie that you guys could think of that would be.
I got mine. But
Go for it, Bobby.
I would have loved to seen a Uncle Buck. Him like call it 5-10 years ago when he's like more into that gambling scene. Obviously, Raj and some of those guys like they had the in on something. So
are you saying like a prequel more?
like a prequel where it's like him and Raj and some of his like guys coming
maybe a
as
young
seedy characters.
pal.
Yeah, like running,
Yeah.
doing points, and
Okay.
being a numbers guy. That'd
Also,
be
just adding into that, maybe like he misses the kids like christening or some shit.
right to
you
like,
know,
go
and
to
that's
the
why
track
they
or something.
start to divide,
Nice.
missing a family event. I would go for honestly. I think a feel good movie would definitely be like the second part of this of like
sequel?
once Uncle Buck
Uncle Buck
is
2.
yeah, but I don't like Uncle Buck 2. I
But
think that
Uncle
sounds like,
Buck something.
What about if they're on vacation together as a family and he has to?
Dude, you read my notes, bro?
Oh man, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying something in that kind of vein of like, hey, it's now things are good.
Yeah.
Starting
Right.
to do family vacations and
Dude,
stuff like
no
that.
shit. I could literally Uncle Buck 2. He's married to Shanice and are expecting a child. Both families take a summer vacation together, maybe.
Oh, that'd be a fun one. I'd watch that.
Get writing on it, Ryan.
And then I also had just
40 years
a
later.
different,
John,
not maybe not with
Is he
Uncle,
still around?
maybe not with Uncle Buck, but just a John Candy Macaulay Culkin movie. Something with them two, just like a different movie. Maybe like he's like a big brother type of thing, or maybe he's like a coach he coaches him in some sport. I don't
That'd
know.
be fun.
Something where like because all the scenes they were in together were pretty good.
It was good rapport. It was very
Yeah,
fun.
and like in Home Alone, they don't have any scenes together, and I just think that there's a movie in there. There would
Oh,
have been
for sure.
somewhere.
I agree. Definitely a
Did
movie.
you have
in there.
any, AJ?
Yeah, mine would have been because the ending scene of the movie is Uncle Buck saying, "Hey, Tia, let's if you're ever in the city, let's grab
get
coffee."
yeah.
That could have been,
That'd be a fun one.
a different like
a Tia's
different,
Adventure
yeah,
in
exactly,
Chicago or
like
something?
Maybe
her and Uncle Buck like having some sort of adventure because
Dude, going to a
obviously,
Cubs game. Doing
yeah,
some
exactly.
shit.
As
that'd
the
be
movie
dope.
went on,
Yeah.
you saw that their
Well,
relationship got super close.
I was thinking too. I didn't write it down, but I thought maybe like it's a few years later. Maybe Tia's like engaged or something, and like she wants Uncle Buck to like him, and he tries to, but secretly something
He's
up
a
with
shyster,
him or
and he
something.
eventually has to like talk
and then
to
they
Tia
start
and-
butting heads again. Some kind of shenanigans.
He has to talk about the fact that he knows how to use a hatchet again.
Right, like I don't know, but I mean, I don't think this movie needs a sequel. But those, if we had to make them, I think those are pretty good ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly across the board that was
was
our
pretty
best
solid,
that was our
yeah.
best segment of
Yeah,
good.
cheers, boys.
get in
Yeah,
there.
pull it all the way through.
We need to get in the writers' room. All right, so let's go to maybe like some nitpicks, stuff that maybe didn't make sense or could have been better to make the movie better. Anything come to mind from anybody?
I kind of, it's weird because like, if he's has a thing that he goes, hey, this is like if I don't make money right now, like I have the fix on a horse or whatever, why wouldn't you just go to the guy? I mean, he definitely tease it up to be like, these are shady guys.
Like
and
you're
stuff
saying,
like that.
place the bet for him or
Yeah,
something?
be like, hey,
Proxy
man,
it, but
like
you trust the
Raj,
guy.
place the bet for me or
Yeah,
something?
Be
but
like-
he,
be
if
like,
he gets
hey-
split, be like, thanks.
be like, hey man, I'll give you 10 grand of whatever I make if you just place the bet for me
Yeah.
this money. Like he doesn't have to be there to place. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you could have kind of maybe figured that out.
Sure.
It's a really nitpick type of thing.
No, that's
like,
fine. That's
doesn't add to
That's
the
what this
story.
segment is for.
Right.
It just doesn't. It's not something that was like, oh, why did that happen? It's just like it's why-
It's a logical question.
Okay.
It makes sense.
That's
Bobby,
really my
anything?
only one.
I wish we could have got more into Macy.
Maisie, yeah.
No, not Macy's. Marcy.
Marcy, yeah,
the
agreed.
neighbor. I wish there was a little bit like
One more scene with
one
her.
more scene to kind of develop her or get her like so you have a better understanding of her character. But then eventually, what got me and it was still funny is. Okay, the washer and dryer, you can't figure it out, but there's laundromats. It's not that challenging. I don't know.
Also, how the fuck didn't Marcy know how to fix the washer dryer?
Yeah, maybe it really was broken.
It could be, but at the
Very-
same
very
time,
possible.
even if I'm in his shoes, I'm like, all right, throw everything in a bag. We're going to the laundromat as like a family,
Sure.
and toss it in the washer, toss it in the dryer.
Yeah, that was very creative what he came up with and funny.
I love that. Yeah, the whole kitchen. I just looked at. There's clothes everywhere. It's like in the oven. The other one's in the microwave. He's like, yeah, we're working on both angles here. I
Can't
was
get
just,
the goddamn washing machine.
yeah,
open.
that whole scene. Yeah, you're gonna take it. You're gonna just, that's.
How about you, AJ?
I would have said, I would have thought the better scene would have been Uncle Buck actually taking the kids to the horse track and then him calling Shanice from there and saying, hey, you know what? That like when he's there, he realized that, he fucked up.
So he went a little bit further rather than the
I was
driveway.
gonna say, to piggyback off you a little bit, I don't think they showed enough of Uncle Buck being a degenerate, being a bad guy.
Yeah.
He seems like a good guy the whole movie. Just because he doesn't have a traditional job or living situation, he still pays his rent.
I
Still
agree.
does things. They didn't show him getting drunk really. He has a couple beers, but it's not like he's like wasted. It doesn't really. The worst thing he did was go to a horse race. Is that really that bad? And he didn't even go. I would have liked to have maybe having a couple more things of him doing worse things to make him when he does the good things
Him getting arrested,
better.
some shit like that.
It
yeah.
makes it like
Well,
kind of like
guys. I mean,
more.
he handled situations that you wouldn't handle in the way that you were raised in the suburbs.
No, but like they portray him as this like low life guy who's like
That's what he's-
banned
I know, but
from,
threatening
banned
a
from
dude
the
with
family.
a hatchet, hog tying him, throwing him in the trunk. That's some pretty heavy shit.
But
No,
that's
but-
more for comedy.
But
like,
but what it is though is that's I mean, Bobby, you're an uncle, dude, right? So like that's uncle mentality no matter what. Like
No,
that's
I know
just
that, but
ingrained
here's
to
a
be
guy-
like your niece is dating
I'm
a
saying
dude
they talk
that,
about how bad of a guy he is, how much of a drinker he is, how much of a low
He was
life,
drinking that one scene though after Tia kind of ruined things with Shanice.
But for at home in the middle of the night,
right,
he's
like
not
a normal
going
giving the
like a
dog
normal
beer.
person. Like again, Ryan's saying they make him out
No,
the,
you're right.
The mother makes him out to be such an asshole.
Yeah.
They didn't show anything, like I said, was kind of before of like, oh, he fucking missed the christening, or oh shit, he showed up drunk to a birthday party.
he had an accident. He accidentally lit the bushes on fire. That was
Right,
like,
some shit like
okay,
that,
But like,
yeah.
You know, like
All
you
right, I
said,
gotcha.
like if they went to the track, he's actually going through with the act. Like now he's like, I'm really like I'm fucked up. Like,
Right.
You know,
Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying there is at least some grit to him.
I think they were kind of afraid to take that step. They kind of wanted to keep it more
precursor
PG.
stuff they're talking about.
So where are we at? We're at the nitpick still. You guys?
I'm
more?
good.
I'm done with it.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
we got any more categories? Or are we good to rate it? What do you got?
I would just say one more question. I would just say, is this
Sure.
your guys' favorite John Candy role or movie?
Negative. My favorite John Candy role is definitely from Cool Runnings.
Okay,
Love it.
Bobby.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay, good choice.
Very
Woj.
solid. I would probably go.
There's a lot of good ones. I mean,
I would probably go with my favorite John Candy. Honestly, favorite
Let's
John
hear it.
Candy of him, Canadian Bacon.
Yes.
Nice.
Fucking love
Canadian Bacon, but also quick shout out Gus Pulaski or Polinsky, the
Yeah,
Polka
yeah.
King of the Midwest. That
I'm the
one
Polka
scene
King
with
of
her,
the Midwest.
he's
From
like,
Home Alone.
he's like, oh, you didn't notice me? He's like,
You never
Polka
heard of Polka Polka Polka?
Dame
Kiss Me
Buja
Polka?
Dame Buja Polka.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a great scene. Shout out that I'm like,
Nice.
if he's the lead, it's Canadian Bacon
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
Also, sorry, Stripes is such a
I was
You
saying,
love
for
Stripes,
me,
yeah.
Uncle Buck, and then Stripes,
yeah.
and then Planes and Trains. That's
Okay.
Those are the ones. Okay, and then let's go to our grades. So would you own it, stream it, or skip it? Let's start with, and then give your grade. It's a letter. Or it's a number grade
Out of 10.
out of 10.
Out of 10.
You can go decimals. You want to start Woj because
I'll start with it.
let AJ
So
think about it.
yeah, no, this is one of those 80s movies that I would definitely own it. I probably did own it at some time with some. I didn't own it right now, and also Amazon, get on your shit because
It's on Peacock.
no,
Peacock
That's
streaming
what I
on
watch
Peacock.
it on.
that's fine. But I'm just saying, I had Amazon. I just fucking did it. I was like, okay, Amazon. Half of the volume for a little bit like didn't work. It would cut out
Oh,
every like
no.
3 seconds. So I was like, you fucking me up
Fucking
right
Jeff
now, Am.
Bezos.
But aside from that, I would say you own it. Grade would probably be like a 8.9
Okay.
to me.
All right.
8.9.
Bobby.
Feel good movie. Definitely something, Saturday morning, just want to kind of get things moving. I would own it. Or at least, make it available on your was it Amazon,
Yeah.
list. And then 8.8 for me. That you came really close to where I was at. There are spots that can be better, but you got John Candy and there's
Sure.
good banter, good comedy. Whoever hasn't seen Uncle Buck, go out and watch it. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
I definitely think it's a good, especially if you like 80s movies, one you got to check out.
Yeah,
if
I
you
would
haven't
agree.
Seen it.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a top 5 John Hughes movies because there are just
Yeah,
way
yeah,
too
they
many
have a
good
bunch.
ones.
Yeah.
But I would definitely. I'm on the 8 tracks. I'm saying 8.5, and it's definitely ownable.
Yep.
I mean, is it like a 16 Candles or Breakfast Club? No, but it's definitely up there.
Nice hot take. I think the Breakfast Club's overrated.
Thank you. I
just-
was
I
about
ju-
to say.
I just watched it a week.
Sorry.
I just watched it a week ago. It's fine. Uncle Buck, I think I like it more personally.
Agree. No, Breakfast
I mean,
Club definitely overrated.
I don't know.
Breakfast Club is a good flick. We'll discuss that another time. Not now.
Okay, but
Fight
no,
words.
that's okay. I like the discussion. It's
Yeah.
good.
All good.
Oh, doctor.
So obviously own it. I have it, and then I'm gonna go.
Yeah, let's show, we haven't even showed it. Here we go.
Well, we're gonna show
For
it
a
here, but
whopping
we're also gonna
$2.99.
gonna put it up in the graphic at some point
Steal.
too.
And then I'm gonna give it 9.1. I
Okay,
think
so
all
we're
right.
all
it's pretty good, but could definitely have some improvement. But I think definitely worthy of a worthy comedy.
yeah.
It's definitely a must see.
Yeah, definitely,
for sure.
especially if you're a John Candy fan or an '80s fan.
Well, here's the thing: all John Hughes movies are considered cult classics. So, I mean, from the mid '80s to the mid '90s, it was all John Hughes, and
For sure.
pretty much every teenager has seen almost every single John Hughes movie.
I think especially if you're from this area. Too.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, if you're from the Midwest, absolutely.
Definitely so. But yeah, everybody got their rating out,
yeah,
right?
let's put a bow on it.
It was good
That's
stuff.
Bobby's tease.
Bobby's tease for next.
We are
week.
going to be watching and reviewing The Mummy. Brandon Fraser. It's
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. Oh, One of my favorite movies. I was gonna go 80s with you, but then I had this one on the back burner. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm bringing it forward. I love Brendan Fraser, and we got to give him some love. He was blacklisted and one of my favorite actors growing up.
Won the Academy Award 2 years ago.
With the whale, right?
Yeah.
So we got
Being a fat bald bastard.
There we go. The Mummy movie review. We have Incubus. Remind me of that.
Morning View.
Morning View coming up on the next one. But for your Journeymen Lounge podcast hosts and our special guest AJ, who will be back on
joining
again.
us.
Thank you for coming on, AJ.
We fucking
it,
love
guys.
it, dude.
I love your insights.
I am Woj. We got,
You got Bobby.
And Ryan.
and we will talk to y'all next week.
Peace out.
Deuces.
We salute you.
We salute.